Hello, I'm Dwight Norris of fishingatwork.com, and today we're going to be talking about where can I buy worms for fishing near me. Now this is something that people think about or have to do from time to time, whether they're going fishing by themselves or they're going fishing with their young children or family, and they need to make sure that they catch fish. To do that, you need live bait. It can be a worm, it can be a minnow, or you can use cut bait. That's bait that's not alive. But we're going to be talking about buying worms. So to do this, there are several places where you can actually acquire these worms, and depends on where you are in the country and what you have available. So let's get into that. First and foremost, we have our local bait shops. Please support your local bait shop. They live and thrive on your ability to buy stuff from them. They also are a really key point for the local community, and they have all the knowledge of really all the places to fish around there, and all the other fishermen come to them looking for bait, looking for new gear, looking for things they've lost or they need to replace really fast, and they're always giving information to the owner or the person working there. So if you have a question about what's going on in the local area and what to catch and how to catch it, that's the person you need to talk to. That's the expert. Unless you know somebody or you have a direct contact with a charter fisherman or somebody who fishes almost every day, like yours truly, to get that information. So it's an easy place to go to. It's a local bait shop. It's online. You can find it easily. You can drive there. The hours are usually outside of local working times, so you can come there before or after work because they know that people do things like we do here. They like to go fishing at work or before work or after work or even at night. So they try to accommodate because they know their customers are doing their fishing outside of work hours. So really, just go in there. They have everything, not just worms. Like right here, you have eels, herring, clams, mackerel, sea worms, etc. Because this is a place that's right on the ocean. And if your place is internal to the U.S., then they're going to have things that are local to your area. They'll have the local shad, the local herring, the local golden shiner, whatever you need. They will know what's biting and what will bite it. So use them as a valuable resource. Next up are regional sports stores, and one of them is Dick's Sporting Goods. Now you've probably seen one before. They're fairly well known. They have all the sporting goods there, but they also have live bait, at least most of them. I have run across a couple that didn't have any, but as you can see here, they do sell a wide variety of live bait, and it really kind of depends on where you are. Now here in Boston, you're not going to find too many of the trout-like baits like the wax worms and the mealworms. Well, not mealworms, but like trout worms. But they will have night crawlers. They will have not salmon roe, some other types of worms that are local to the area, and they'll have all the frozen bait that's used in your area. For here, mackerel, some bunkers, some alewives, eels, etc., etc. Things to catch what's near you. So, hey, if they're near you, check them out. If they're not, then move on to the next option, which is the local marina. Now, most people don't think about the local marina because they think boats. They think people, living on the boats or going out for a cruise, or maybe it's a charter fisherman, or your uncle owns a boat and or he has he's a lobsterman, or he's a crabber, or he's an oysterman, and they don't think about actually getting a live bait there. But hey, lobsterman, oysterman, not oysterman, but crab, a crab fisherman. Hey, they need live bait to put in their actual traps. So it's there. The cut bait's there. They also have other bait there because, hey, they're basically a bait shop that's on the water. So if you go to most of those places, they'll have it. Here, and this place is in Gloucester, Massachusetts, North Shore, and they have ice and bait and sundries and all that other stuff. Everything you need to get on the water or catch fish or really just have a good time while you're outside. That's what they want to accommodate. So check them out if they're near you, or if you have your boat there. Awesome for you. Another place that's cool is your local fishing pier. Now, if you've gone on vacation to the beach, the West Coast, East Coast, then you probably had to go to a fishing pier and you needed bait. So you went right to the place. You had to pay some money to enter, most likely. And right there, they have a few options for fishing. And it's usually some, not so great frozen bait. They have some frozen mackerel or whatever, but they usually have some sea worms if it's on the sea. Sometimes they'll have night crawlers. I haven't seen that before. And I'm really partial to shrimp when it comes to fishing off a pier. That's a little quick tip. Go for the shrimp first. You'll notice it's almost always gone because people know what's going on. On to the next. Next is your insect sale place, which aren't quite as popular. But I've used them a lot. This actual particular company, insectsales.com, they give you a lot of worms, and it's really high quality. They give you nice containers, and there's a piece of paper that goes over it so they stay moist. And even if it's cold, like I'm in Boston, they'll actually provide a heater that will go with the worms, and that will allow the worms to actually take the trip through the post office or wherever else and arrive to you nice and lively. If they don't actually get the correct temperature, then they'll freeze, they'll shrink, they'll mostly die, and then you'll be an unhappy customer. So they provide that quality service, and I highly recommend them. The next option is your national stores, and there's two types. The ones that actually have a brick and mortar, and the ones that don't. The one that does is Walmart. And you can go right into Walmart, and they have had live bait for probably longer than I've been alive. And pretty much everybody knows that. It's really cheap. They're everywhere, and you know what you're getting. It says right on the canister, right on the. It could be you can get a small one, or it has like 18 or so, or you can get a large one up to 50. Depends on what kind of fishing you're doing, and it's not going to cost you too much. So if you have that available, it's great to go in. But if you can't, you can always order online. You can do that through Walmart or through Amazon. And Amazon has a wide array of options. One of the most popular is Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. He knows his stuff. He's a high quality vendor, and most of his worms are only for composting, but you can use them for fishing as well. They're the same night crawlers and red wigglers that you use for fishing. They may cost a little bit more, but you'll get they'll be bigger, they'll be healthier and more lively than the ones you'll get from some small time vendors that don't know what they're doing with their worms. So if you want a nice, lively, thick, strong worm, that's the person to go to. But there are other vendors that I've used personally, like this one with the random picture of worms in a pile of dirt. It looks kind of unprofessional, but I've come across some people, just look at the reviews, and you'll notice that they actually do a good job. They just don't do a good job of marketing themselves. So give them a chance. They're cheap. They come in 2 days with Prime, and if you don't like it, you send it right back. That's the advantage of using Amazon. I think you probably already know about that, though. The last option is to farm them yourself. Maybe you don't want to do the work, but if you do, you can start your own worm farm, or you can just call it vermiculture or composting using worms. This is readily done with red worms or red wigglers because they're the best at actually consuming your biodegradable waste. But if you use the right foods and have the right temperatures and you feed them readily and give them all the rocks and pebbles they need to digest it, it's like little microscopic rocks they use to actually grind the food in their stomachs, then they will procreate quite rapidly and you'll have a never-ending worm supply. And that's something I've thought about, but don't have the time and don't have the space, and I'm a little weird about having old food inside of my house. And since it's the Northeast, it gets cold, you can't have it outside, they'll all freeze, so that's the only option. But just for an experiment, I might try it out. So those are my options for where can I buy worms for fishing near me. And if you have any other suggestions or thoughts, or you're just wondering what else can I do to make this work, comment down below, like, share, subscribe, do all the socials. I'll be here to help every day with new videos. If you have any suggestions or things you want to learn, please comment below or go to the website fishnetwork.com and get your free How to Catch More Bass PDF. And also look out for the Everyday Fishing System, which will help you go fishing more often.